Welcome one, welcome all. The Ring Rundown, a wrestling podcast. My name is Matt. I am joined by my friends Brandon and Christian. How you boys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good.
How's the wrestling been for you guys? I feel like it's at a good level right now, man. We haven't been able to talk for a while, and it's kind of. I mean, it's been pretty sweet. We've entered the Netflix era. Like Triple H is doing a pretty good job, man.
It's that new era, man. And then with Penta being in the WWE now as well.
That guy's exciting.
Dude, WWE is looking up right now.
Some of the storylines are stale here and there, which has been a bummer. Maybe it's them just trying to find their footing, so that's why it's been kind of up and down for me, but it's just, I don't know.
You got any
some
in
of the
particular?
things.
Like what in particular has got you right now?
As good as Gunther was with the Intercontinental champion, they've kind of messed up his whole run with the title he has now. That has the heavyweight champion, and he's amazing, and they've kind of just ruined it.
I mean, you realize he's not going to be on the Royal Rumble this week, right?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not even, which is insane.
Yeah.
Especially because you have such a good one for the other title. So,
honestly, to me personally, I think it was because they were doing so bad with Gunther being world champion. I really thought that they should have just given it to Jay this past week. Personally, I think it's time for him to have a title finally. Especially because the storylines right now for Gunther is just doesn't seem like it's working out right now for him. And he's not having that many defenses. You know what I mean?
You would think they would give him the title, but I think because of his wrestling prowess is probably the only reason they don't, because he's not as good a wrestler in singles matches as the other guys. That's the only thing I can think, because dude, he's the most over guy in the company, and you don't have a title on him.
And they call him main event. Like,
yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, it's insane how over he is. You got literally the whole freaking crowd yeeting.
Mm-hmm.
You got Michael Cole yeeting. It's like, dude, how do you have that? Like his entrance from Monday night, dude, it was insane.
Yep.
He literally just came out to pretty much do that.
Yeah, for sure. I think Jay will have his time. I think that there's a lot to build on. It's very crowded. Even though there's 2 world championships, it's pretty crowded around the top right now. And I think that that's kind of playing into why Jay is kind of hovering around that area. It reminds me a lot of Shawn Michaels in the 90s after he broke away from Marty Jannetty. And he would have these singles runs, and he would go and he'd win the Intercontinental Championship. But then you'd see him, he'd wrestle, like Brett way back in the day for the world title, wouldn't win it, right? Wrestle Diesel, wouldn't win it. It just always seemed to be right there at the cusp of something special, and then he wouldn't win it. And then, organically it comes up, that he ended up winning the world title at WrestleMania 12. I think that Jay's time will come, but I think that CM Punk's injury at last year's Royal Rumble kind of put a halt on what they were going to do with him, and that complicates things right now, because now you're looking at Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk along with Roman Reigns. How do they figure in? You got John Cena on his Twilight run. That's 5 guys right there, without even mentioning a Kevin Owens, without even mentioning somebody like a Randy Orton, somebody around the title picture that probably be in it closer to that time. And with Gunther, I think that, there is a pay-per-view in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I think it's Night of Champions, if I'm not mistaken.
So they're doing Elimination Chamber in February.
Elimination Chamber, isn't it?
Okay, Elimination Chamber. I would suspect that Gunther loses his championship at Elimination Chamber. So Cody's going to defend at Royal Rumble, which means that the next obvious step would be Cody trying to see where he's going to be at for WrestleMania. Something tells me he's going to be booked in some type of like tag match or something like that, and the Elimination Chamber is going to be for Gunther's World Heavyweight title. And that's because I don't think that Gunther's in the picture for WrestleMania. I think they need it on somebody else to potentially, get somewhere with it. But we can talk about all that. what storylines are you guys enjoying right now? Because Christian, you don't like the Gunther. It's stale. I really do think it's stale as well.
Same.
It's sad because I think that Seth Rollins really made the World Heavyweight Championship, and the title means less on Gunther.
I agree.
The man is supposed to make the title, and I don't think that. Gunther as Intercontinental Champion is great. I think this kind of tells me that Gunther's cap is not World Champion, if that makes sense.
I feel like they kind of rushed Gunther into being World Champion as well. Do you guys agree?
I mean, relatively, right? Because he was Intercontinental Champion for 666 days.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser has more aura to be the heavyweight champion.
I just think. Well, I think Gunther loses a lot of his aura when Imperium isn't there. Like when he doesn't like when he's not leading a stable, because then it's all on Gunther, and Gunther just comes out and goes like, "I'm a better wrestler than you." But there's no fire in his promos. One, I think it's because English is a second language, and I think that always creates a problem for a lot of these wrestlers with getting over with the crowd. Because what word do you put emphasis on? Like if he was speaking what he normally speaks, which is, I assume, German, that he'd be able to throw all kinds of pronunciation and everything. You see it when Spanish speakers go to, somewhere where they speak Spanish, and they're able to speak Spanish in a way that just like riles up the crowd, right? I don't think that Gunther connects with the audience. I don't think they're feeling his promos. And honestly, like he gets no heat. Like he gets no heat at all. And like even Jey Uso can't even bring the heat out of him, There are people that just get natural heat that are good at it. It can be like a CM Punk, it can be a Randy Orton, it can be a Seth Rollins, it can be a Roman Reigns, anybody who's like a good heel. And then there's the people that have, absolute fuck you heat, which is essentially right now it's Logan Paul and
Dominic God, Guerrero. Dude. Logan, I couldn't believe the heat he had.
They're like fuck you heat. They don't even let them talk. New Day is like that right now. New Day has fuck you heat.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a storyline I actually do like.
I'm trying to figure out where they go with it.
Well, they're just slowly building it old school style.
God, man, it would be so sick if like all this time it was a ruse that Big E couldn't come back and wrestle, and he comes back. That would be the sickest. But I just don't see that actually happening. But
yeah, I mean, with that neck injury, you got to be careful.
Oh yeah. He's lucky he didn't die.
Like Tyson Kidd didn't ever come back either.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, that looked like that was scary seeing that shit live.
Yeah.
I'd say the best storyline is probably Cody and KO, and it's finally been like the one good feud that Cody's had as champion. Plus, they're two of the best guys on the mic. They can cut crazy good promos against each other, and anything KO does is going to be 5-star every time. He's just amazing.
Signing with Shawn Michaels, that was great. I love that.
Oh yeah. And they're taking it across. I like that there are less barriers, right? Like if you need them on SmackDown, you can be on SmackDown. You need them on Monday Night Raw, they're on Monday Night Raw. NXT appearance, fuck it, send them there. Like it doesn't matter. Any way you look at it, you can move the top guys around, and I think it's better for the product. Real quick, we didn't get to do a show when Netflix had their first episode of Raw. They've had 3 so far. Why don't we just briefly talk about our experience with the Netflix version of it? Christian, do you want to start, or you want to let Brandon go? Up to you.
I like it. I've been actually able to watch it either live Monday, or I can watch it. Like I had to go to the store this Monday, right? And I come back and I just watch it from the beginning as it's still going. Dude, it's amazing. Like it's fantastic how easily accessible it is. I was
Especially
hoping
if you have to leave in the middle of it, because then you can just resume where you left off.
Oh, dude,
like,
it's
perfectly.
So nice.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like I love that. And then I wish there was no commercials. I thought there maybe was a chance for that because
man, WWE awesome. Got to make them that ad revenue.
Oh, I know.
That's where all that money is going to come from. So
I totally agree. But otherwise, I like it. I still think they're trying to find their footing because everything, some stuff seems to kind of all over the place right now on it, where they haven't. I like that they're just kind of do their own runtime. I think that's good, but
yeah,
trying to get everything going where everything's jumping back and forth between SmackDown and Raw, and then some of the stuff makes no sense because like the women wrestling right now makes no sense at all. It's all over the place everywhere. So that I haven't liked. I like some of the stuff where they're going back and forth, and then some of the matches have been really, really good at times. Like, it's funny how the mid card matches seem to be the best matches of the of the night. So, but otherwise, I like it. I like how easy it is. I can watch it Monday night. Don't have to wait till Tuesday morning.
Isn't that how wrestling used to be though? Like in the late 80s, early 90s, it was the IC guys are going to be the ones they're the work rate guys. They're the ones that are going to go out there and just kick ass and take names. And the main event guys work that more main event style, and they have like more of the story. But like the matches at the Intercontinental level back in the 80s was just like second to none. It reminds me of WrestleMania 3 when Steamboat and Savage stole the show, and like Hogan and Andre brought everybody in, right? Got them to sit there. But the artistry and the level of pure work rate that you got out of Savage and Steamboat, I mean, that match was amazing, and it stands up to this day.
And those guys showed up every week. The not showing up every week, it just kills me for storytelling. I don't like.
So do you wish that there was more? Do you wish there was more separation? Do you want them like SmackDown guys are on SmackDown, Raw guys are on Raw?
No, I honestly like the continuous story as it used to be, where like they just used both to continue each story and kind of like did it differently. But they used to have their own
era where it was like Steve Austin would be on Monday and Friday night SmackDown or whatever.
Yeah, and then but each show had its own like style. Even though they were on both, it had a different style. Like especially when like Teddy Long was in charge of SmackDown, it was just a good flow into kind of like more normal, and then it was like more wild when you got to SmackDown back in the day. I liked where it kind of flowed into that, where the flip-flopping's kind of too much, and then when your biggest star is not showing up and continuing storylines, that's kind of that still bugs me. It's like to me it's Brock Lesnar all over again, and I don't really understand it.
Sure. I mean, in that vein, then, the way around that, I guess, if you want guys on there all the time, I mean, you're going to have your part-time guys, of course. Like, that's how they've done things for the last 20 years. I think that's just going to continue. But for the guys that we really want to see every week, if you want them to get on more, I mean, that means you got to shave the roster at the bottom. I feel like you got to get rid of some of the extra. Because I think what's happening is they're trying to get exposure for some of these guys that don't get a lot of TV time. Because think about it, right? Like we just had let's go through Monday Night Raw, this last one, and it was it was essentially the go home show for the Royal Rumble this weekend. And so we got Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, we got Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. We got the War Raiders versus Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough, who shout outs to him to like punctured along and like fucked himself up on that table.
Dude.
It's crazy, but like you got Seth Rollins kicking off Raw with a promo. Gunther and Logan Paul are out there, right? Logan Paul, got to get hyped for the show. You have the War Raiders and Judgment Day. That's tag team champions, right? That we don't really get to see that often. You get Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods with like the New Day stuff. You get the women's tag team match. You get Jey Uso shows up on the show. You get like a backstage vignette with Rhea Ripley and Becky Bailey and Io Sky. Then you get Paul Heyman coming out to do like a video game thing. And then the main event is Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, and then you get a backstage with Penta and Braun Breaker. So like and then CM Punk comes out with the promo for Cody, which was a sick promo. But like look at all the people that weren't on there. No Randy Orton, no Damian Priest, no Shinsuke Nakamura, no and these are not shitty people. No LA Knight. Like these are over people. These are guys that are over. So like the way that I look at it as you're not going to get the stories. Like you have to like kind of have a long memory because these guys aren't on every week, but it's because the roster is so stacked with so many good talent. Like, what are you going to do?
That's true. I mean, you could add more with the tag team division, which is friggin' terrible.
Sure. I've always maintained that WWE should take a page out of New Japan's book and have trios titles.
Yeah,
have six mans. That way you got six guys out there, right? And you're able to do that. So I think that Triple H is starting to cut down. Like, Raw was really bloated at 3 hours before. I think he's starting to cut down on that, but the result is the roster has to catch up. So he's going to have to make cuts in the roster somewhere. And, there's going to be some good talent that gets the axe, but that's the way that it goes sometimes. So,
yeah. Like, how do you guys feel like SmackDown's doing with their 3 hour thing going on?
Too long.
Yeah. I do think that weekly WWE it is too long. It does get a little long.
Oh,
so,
another thing we could talk about too is the partnership with TNA. How you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a potential way to solve some of this, right? Like, if you think guys are green or whatever, maybe you move some of the greener people or maybe some of the lower end people from the main roster, have them show up on TNA to do spots there so that they can get work. And then you save like the stronger guys for when they show up on, main roster TV or whatever, or NXT.
Because you think about it, they're already doing that with NXT and TNA.
Yeah.
What do you guys? So let's go back to storylines. What do you guys think? What's going to happen with Bianca Belair and why am I having a blank on her name all of a sudden?
Cargill?
Jade Cargill. Yeah. So what's up with that? When are we going to find out? They're not really paying any attention to like. She asked for time off, or is it all part of the story?
It seemed like they just went dark with that shit. They didn't even continue the storyline of who attacked her or whatever,
Yeah, they haven't done anything with that, and I think it's a loose thread. And I think that might be, one of the weakest aspects of Triple H's regime. Women's matches, except if you're like the tippy top, tends to be like kind of bleh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I got kind of upset. I didn't agree with who they gave the Intercontinental Championship to, obviously, but
yeah.
Because, I just feel like she's boring. Or like Dakota Kai's actually been there and put her to work in a little longer.
She's barely on TV either.
That's true.
I think Dakota Kai just got injured again, too.
No way. Damn. She really?
She got a legit concussion, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Because I thought they were right to give the Chelsea Green the title because she's so over.
Mm-hmm. I kind of miss Samantha Irvin's introduction for Chelsea Green.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. Losing her sucked.
Name anymore, man.
Yeah.
No, it's a bummer. I'd say going into the weekend, my favorite storyline, if we're gonna go back into storylines, is the angle with Sami Zayn. Like, they played into it this past Monday too, with like Cody coming out to help him, and then him accidentally hitting Cody this time. It's like, oh, okay. And then when the way that Owens reacted after Sami did that, I'm like, oh man, this angle he's going to be a part of that ladder match in some way. I'm just interested to see how it goes, because I know they won't do it, but I would be fine with it. Like, if I know, because there's too many guys at the top, I have no problem with Owens winning and then Sami getting the chance at WrestleMania for them to fight each other in some kind of like stipulation match for the title between the two of them. Would be absolute perfection as a match. It would probably be the best match of the weekend. Probably won't happen, but I like the storyline going into Royal Rumble. Like, what's Sami going to end up doing?
Right. That's going to be interesting to see for sure. Because he just had that thing with Seth Rollins too, where he kicked Seth Rollins as well.
Yeah.
So it's
is it a heel turn for Sami?
Possibly. I think it's time, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible, but how would the crowd go over with that? I don't know. I think Sami fits in that role of like lovable doofus. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the one that I fucked up. Sorry, guys.
But if he goes full heel and actually help, and they decided, which let's be honest, that probably won't happen. Decided to give Kevin the title at Royal Rumble, and had Sami turn heel to help Kevin, it's going to go over well, because regardless of Kevin being a heel, people are going to be happy Kevin won, because he's amazing regardless.
I think it's time for him to be a freaking champion again too.
Oh no, not right now. He's gonna lose. He's not.
Oh,
No, I know. We know he's going to lose. I'm just saying it's
100%.
fun hypothetically.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun
for
hypothetically,
sure.
but
Yeah, in
For sure.
general,
no, he's going to lose.
I would say I'm not saying that he's gonna win at Royal Rumble. I'm just saying, like, in general, I think it's time for him to get a title reign going.
Yeah, it's just hard when everything is crowded at the top.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna keep.
what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, I've said this kind of like multiple times before, but I really, really think that they should make NXT into another like main roster type thing, kind of like what they were trying to do before COVID and Survivor Series happened and everything like that. I thought it was working out perfect, and that Survivor Series thing going on with between the three brands, a lot of people loved it and they want it back. They should definitely do that, personally, because there's a lot of good talent on NXT.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I mean, again, everybody, it's like football, right? There's only one ball, and there's a lot of mouths to feed. So somebody's going to have to be, the underachievers.
Right.
And I think that we do get to a point where certain guys, a la Roman Reigns, don't need the title. I think Roman is bigger than the title. So like a Brock Lesnar situation. Brock doesn't need the world championship to be an attraction. The Undertaker didn't need the world championship to be an attraction. So
see, I agree because I don't really think Roman needs to be involved in the title this year.
sure.
I think them possibly giving one to Cena, that's still up in the air. And then whatever they decide to do with the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, what they should be doing is Randy versus Cena for the title. That should be his final win for the title to me should be with Randy.
Do you think that John Cena's selfish enough to be like, yeah, I want to be the guy. Like, let me break Flair's shit. I think Randy would be that way. I don't think Randy gives a fuck. But I don't know about John. I don't know if he would at this stage in his career.
But I feel like knowing like it being so early in the Triple H era, why would you not? It's like you're talking WrestleMania in Vegas. It's a huge moment that like it's one of those unforgettable moments. It's one of those moments.
Are you wish casting though? Are you kind of wish casting right now?
I could be, but I am kind of thinking like Triple H, if he's thinking like he wants a big unforgettable moment. This is his version of Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. You know what I mean? Like that's an unforgettable moment in WrestleMania. If he has Cena break the record at WrestleMania, that's something that's like never going to be forgotten, and it's his like first big holy shit moment for in WWE. So like it's probably maybe I'm wish casting a little bit because I love to see it and be a part of it.
Sure,
it'd be amazing. Cena deserves it, but I think we'll finally know where they're going to go depending on what happens at Royal Rumble. Like this will tell us what we should probably expect.
Well, here's a question: when does Randy come back? Since we were talking about Randy.
Yeah, what even really happened to him?
I think he just took time off. They didn't need him involved in the moment, and so he took time off.
I mean, if we're thinking about it, Randy's probably going to be in the Rumble, right? You would guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you need a lot of bodies for the Rumble.
Just like Becky's going to come back for the Rumble.
Maybe. I mean, listen, do you guys want to like jump into that? Do you guys want to jump into that, like the Rumble itself, or do you guys want to finish up our thoughts on storylines?
I mean, we could talk. Shit, the women's storylines are terrible in general. Like we don't. Where are they doing with?
Why don't you hit that for a second? I'll be right back. You guys talk about the women's, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Brandon, what do you think, dude? Like, you have both titles. They're going back and forth on each show right now. They have no direction. They kind of, to me, killed Liv's character by having her join the Judgment Day.
I think
they're more moving into a tag team titles thing with her and Raquel.
I
Well, I
think.
don't understand. Like you had
Well, what
Tiffany Stratton win, right? And then all of a sudden Nia's going and fighting.
I was just gonna say that. I'm trying to figure out why Nia went straight to Raw and then went for the Raw Women's title against
I don't
Rhea.
understand it. It's like there's no
I'm like,
respect for the women's storytelling.
I was like, I was like, why don't you have a feud between Nia and Tiffany now?
Yeah,
Like,
it really makes no sense because when Bailey won it, they didn't do anything to help her that title reign she had, and she's one of the best on the mic, best wrestlers they have for the women,
you know what?
and they
You
give
know
her
what they're
nothing.
doing?
What?
So this is what I'm thinking. So the portal opened, right? So they brought Nia Jax to Raw now, and that's why that
Mm-hmm.
happened. And they're getting ready for Charlotte Flair to come back on SmackDown, and she's going to go after the women's title against Tiffany.
Yeah, honestly, if
That's
that
what,
happens and she wins again, then honestly, in my opinion, the women's, the women's division is lost. If they just
yeah.
automatically give her a title again when she comes back, it's ridiculous.
Personally, they should have had Jade go for the women's title a long time
Well, I
ago.
don't know, dude. I don't even know when Jade's coming back. Is Jade coming back the Royal Rumble and she's gonna
Possibly,
eliminate the other two?
she posted a picture on her Instagram the other day.
Because I'm thinking she's gonna do something. Like they got to have some kind of big storylines coming up.
Yeah.
We won't get into that until Matt gets back. But the only thing I can think is they're doing it on purpose because the storylines are going to come in the next couple months with Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Rhea's kind of been boring as a champion too. Like there's nothing going on. It's just like, can we get something new? Like I don't even know. Maybe Becky comes back. I think she's been enjoying not working, to be honest. But maybe she comes back. But she's not she's not a type to be like, oh yeah, give me the title. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what are they gonna do? What's the plan there? The women's storylines could be a lot better, but there's a lot of storylines that could be better, and they're just like not putting the full force behind them. I think if they keep doing what they're doing with Jay, it works out because if they are going to eventually give him a title, when he does finally win it, you're not going to expect it because he keeps losing. So you're like, oh well, and then when he wins it, everybody's going to be like besides themselves.
Yeah.
And then they got to try to bring back some prestige to the Money in the Bank because it's been boring.
They need to do a lot with
a
couple of the PLEs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, time to change it up a bit.
I like the Elimination Chamber, for example. That should always be a title type of match in the Elimination Chamber.
But you don't, in my opinion, Triple H should go back and treat it like he decided to treat Hell in a Cell. We're not having a pay-per-view based on that. Use the Elimination Chamber when you have enough guys that are like, okay, we have enough guys. You guys are freaking 6 of you idiots are fighting each other, whatever it is, causing a ruckus. Okay, and then the freaking GM's like, all right, it's freaking Elimination Chamber. Make it where it's like has some more prestige, and there's we have a PLE and it's Elimination Chamber. That's boring. Just like Hell in a Cell is boring because of that. Hell in a Cell should be, when you hit the catalyst of a feud and you're like, okay, just like Drew and Punk, that was amazing, right? It was a perfect time to add a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think they need to do some work with the PLEs, on some of them at least.
I still think they're trying to find their footing. I feel like they'll fix it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we just need more stipulations. Like I know you can kind of overdo it, but if you go back to especially like the Attitude Era, they had a lot more stipulation matches and it was a lot more entertaining. You could get more into it. Where during the PG era, we just kind of had normal match. Here and there, we might have a decent stipulation, but it's like some of these matches you can get a feeling where you're right. So like Finn and Priest, they should have a last man standing match, right? That should have been how you should end the feud, stuff like that. And you don't see these feuds ending like that. And so that's what I'm hoping they bring back, is some more stipulations where you have these good feuds and they actually end with a great match.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that having the labeled pay-per-views are kind of weak. The one exception being Money in the Bank, because that's like literally what it's structured around.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because it's not supposed to be a feud of sorts, right? It's literally you're trying to get the Money in the Bank contract.
I agree, and I think we're getting there, because look, like
I was
King
actually
of the Ring,
surprised.
Right? Yeah,
it's King of the Ring. You're trying to be King of the Ring.
Yeah, exactly. I think they are doing the right thing though, because like I was actually surprised we got a ladder match at Royal Rumble. Like ladder matches are one of the most fun, exciting matches WWE has, and I didn't expect it. And then now we have two of the best wrestlers in a ladder match. It's going to be insane. You know, Kevin Owens is going to swanton from the top of the ladder.
Oh yeah, he's going to do some crazy thing.
Back to the women's division real quick. Matt, I was actually telling Christian, I was like, because we were talking about how Nia Jax went to Raw and then faced Rhea for her title after.
Yeah, that made no sense.
That made no sense whatsoever. But what I told him was, I think because they're doing the whole portal thing right now, I think Nia Jax is on Raw now, and what they're gonna do is Charlotte Flair is gonna come back and go after Tiffany Stratton for the world title.
I mean, maybe we'll see.
To be honest,
I'd like to think Triple H isn't going to follow in Vince's footsteps and constantly throw Charlotte as champion in our face every second.
Wow, hear me out though. We just got news today that they signed Jordan Grace to a multi-year contract. So don't be surprised if you see her out there. I think Royal Rumble for sure. She'll be there. And then they'll probably work with her, you know.
So should we get into the Royal Rumble coming up?
Yeah, let's get into the Royal Rumble. Yeah, let's get into the Royal Rumble. So there's only 4 matches listed for the card.
Dang.
Yeah. So let's go to I mean the Rumbles are going to take an hour each at least.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll start with the curtain jerker. One of the Rumbles will probably go, like the Women's Rumble will probably go first, but
I would assume so.
We'll just start with the WWE Tag Team Championship between Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. Where do you guys see this going? Should be a good wrestling match at the very least.
DIY.
I think DIY is going to keep it. They're better as heels than they are as babyface, they're barely letting us see what Ciampa is as a heel, so I think they're going to have to keep that going. I think something crazy is going to happen to add to them being heels, and they're not going to just win outright, but I think they'll win. On the third fall, I think they'll each share a fall, and it'll be the final one, and Ciampa or something will do something crazy. I don't think enough like WWE fans are really into the Motor City Machine Guns. I think they don't think it's right that they just come in, and that's at least what I've noticed, that they just come in and are in the title thing. But
I think the tag team division is kind of ass right now.
That's true too. It's like they need to completely fix the tag division in general. I don't see how DIY loses. Not that I think most of WWE fans actually care. Like I think this match is just going to be like, I'll be surprised to see what kind of pop and what kind of reaction the match gets.
Like, to be honest with you guys, since we're talking about tag team division, I would have rather seen JD and Dominic tag team champions than the War Raiders.
I mean, JD's going to be out for a few months, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Broken ribs.
Like, if that didn't happen, though, like, I was kind of rooting for them on my.
Dom needs to be Intercontinental Champion, but they're not. They're not doing it.
Well, I think what they need to do with Dom is bring him back to NXT, like we said when we talked the last time on the show, and then he could just compete for the titles there. He needs work, man. He's not good right now.
That's true.
He needs some work for sure. But
I don't know if he's ever going to reach the levels of his dad or even close to that.
No,
I'm not saying he needs to be Rey Mysterio, but like I don't know, man. He's just kind of loppy and not athletic.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when he does the Ray shit. Like he tries to do the 619 and it looks like shit because like, dude, you're like way taller than your dad. It looks cool with your dad because he's so small and it like that's makes it look good. You're like too tall. It makes you just look like you're doing really unathletic stuff.
I agree.
What do you think about that tag match, Matt?
I could see it going either way, just because I think that DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, both are work rate guys. Motor City Machine Guns are newer to the company than DIY, and I feel like DIY is going to be one of these teams that's headed for another like meltdown, right? Like one of them is going to turn on the other. Because Gargano Ciampa is money. Every time they do it, it's money. We've seen it in NXT. We haven't really seen it on the main roster, and it's something that they can dip their toes into if they really decide that they want to do it. I don't think that there is any money for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin to not be in a tag team together. So the more sensible thing to do would be Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa over something like the U.S. title or something. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that, this will be Motor City Machine Guns taking it. And I think there's going to be some level of like accident, It's kind of where I'm sitting with it.
I say the Pretty Deadly comes out and interferes or somehow.
I mean, that's possible.
Yeah. That's possible. That's another freaking tag team right there. Like you guys brought them up to the main roster and haven't done jack shit with them.
Because everybody thinks they're buffoons.
I'm sorry, but they're not good. Go back to NXT. Truly.
Yeah, we got to get rid of some of the sillier stuff. Doesn't make really sense.
Like they're this whole like show that they're trying to do backstage, like
they gotta kind of slowly get rid of the PG type stuff, and it'll probably help.
Yeah. I mean, they got to get rid of some of the silly stuff, right? We're in a day and age where people want more realistic shit. Mm-hmm. It's the same reason, and I fucking told you guys, Wyatt 6, lame as fuck, dude. Never going to work.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Terrible. And what are they doing? They're doing nothing. They're not even on TV.
Absolutely nothing.
They just got moved to SmackDown.
I think they've had like one actual match, and it's been like a year.
Yeah.
Trash. So, all right. Well, let's move on. We're going to go to, I think we're just going to go to the singles match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the ladder match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I think we're both, or all of us are in agreement that Cody Rhodes is probably going to retain here.
Yeah.
It'll be a good-ass match.
Yeah, I think he retains. I think he's going to retain. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for them to take it off Cody, I think, because he's going to be a big part of WrestleMania. I, as a fan, would love to see Kevin Owens win it. I think it's time. I think Cody's, he hasn't really been that great of a champion. No offense to him, but I think
it depends on
Kevin
how you
Owens,
define great. That's, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's true.
He's working with everybody. Like, is he having 5-star classics? No, but you're not going to get that out of Cody Rhodes anyway. And that dude sells merch like a motherfucker.
That's true. Like,
he's a draw. Like, he's a legit draw. It was the same thing with, like, Hogan, right? Was Hogan a fucking good worker? No. But he put asses in seats. And I think that's the difference, Like, he's not going to be the work rate champion. He's never going to be the Shawn Michaels or the AJ Styles or anything like that. But, like, he's the guy. He's the perfect WWE style main event champion. Roman is the same thing. Roman does not put on amazing matches. It's like, how many times does he do like in the Superman punch? You'll see that shit like 6-7 times a match, and it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, same way. You're going to Suplex City and you're gonna get like 5 F5s. That's the way that it's gonna be.
It's like Cena. He's getting the shit beat out of him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is in today's main event scene. So I wouldn't expect anything different there.
I mean, I
But
know.
I think Kevin Owens is going to be absolutely amazing in this match, regardless. I think he's a 5-star worker type guy. Like he's that good.
Oh, he's really good. Yeah. Do you think there's going to be somebody that interferes?
Dude, Sammy has to play a part somehow.
This has to be the blow off, right? Like whoever interferes, it's probably going to be on Cody's behalf. And you would think that it would be somebody that would then go on to take on Kevin Owens going into WrestleMania. Yeah, like a Randy Orton or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Something interesting has to happen.
I mean, you think about it. Kevin Owens is the one that took out Randy with the pile driver, right? So, I mean, it would make sense.
Are they gonna have that be the second match? Like, are they gonna make it the main event? Because I think the Royal Rumble should be the main event. Hence, it's the name of the damn
usually
PLE. But
make the Royal Rumble the main event.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I think it just depends on the winner of the Royal Rumble. Really.
That's true. Good point.
That's true.
So what do you guys think is going to actually happen? You just think Cody will retain it, and it'll be?
I think there will be some interference that will blow off the feud and move them on to going against whoever Kevin Owens is going to go against.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Personally, I really think Randy is going to come out and interfere on Cody's behalf,
and we'll get Kevin and Randy at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. They need something for Randy to do too, for sure.
Okay.
Cody takes it for sure.
All right. Let's move on to the Women's Royal Rumble match. We can talk about. Let's talk about who we think are going to be some surprise entrants, or who's going to be returning, and then who we think is going to win it.
Tell you right now, it's probably going to be Charlotte Flair.
Well, Charlotte announced herself for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this is when Becky comes back.
Okay.
I know that she signed. She did sign a deal. I don't know when she'll actually come back, but I would assume because they need bodies, she might be back. We'll probably get somebody from TNA again, like we did last year.
Or I think we'll get a couple from TNA now that they're in a partnership. I think it's gonna be more than just like one or two. You know what I mean?
That would be where it would be.
The only good surprise they could do is if AJ Lee decided to come back for just the Royal Rumble, because she obviously does not want to wrestle.
Hey now. Don't step on Alexa Bliss here.
Oh, Alexa Bliss would be nice too.
But she's not ready to come back yet.
Yeah, she is.
I think hers would be pretty sweet.
She was supposed to come back on the debut of Netflix, and her contract was a little weird. And then the Wyatt Six sucks, so they kind of repackaging her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe Jade comes back too, right? Maybe her whole thing is we don't fully know what happened, but she comes back and eliminates Naomi and Bianca.
Maybe.
I think Jordan Grace
could
be there.
We could probably get Trish and Lita because that's all they can bring back for something entertaining, nostalgic wise. But you can't beat Jade coming last year. That was the best part of Royal Rumble last year when she picked up Nia Jax. That was insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do have a name and this is like an out there one, and I don't know 100% if it's going to happen just because it would be very controversial, but it would be something that people would talk about for a long time. I got 2 words for you. Tessa Blanchard.
Interesting.
She was the TNA world champion at one point, like
wrestling
the dudes. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sorry, she's the knockout.
She's with
champion.
TNA. She's with
That's what
TNA.
I'm saying. It makes sense because I think some TNA women will be there, like we had the last one.
Yeah.
So
I got one for you guys because I'm hearing a lot of rumors going on right now. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Britt Baker or Britt what the hell is her name?
That would be
Britt
sick.
Baker. Yeah.
Her contract expired, if I'm not mistaken, from AEW, and there's a lot of rumors going around that she could be joining WWE.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
Mhm.
So who do we think wins?
Who wins the Royal Rumble? That's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting.
You know, what's funny too is a lot of the like, you know how the guys have been saying that they're entering the Royal Rumble. I haven't
Mhm.
really heard the women saying it when they're out there. Have you?
I mean, I just know of the announcement that Charlotte Flair made.
Okay.
I mean, there's a chance she wins because it's just WWE being
I
typical.
honestly, I don't think so, and I think it's due to her character. They have her coming back as like the socialite, like I'm better than you character, so she's coming back as a heel. And I
Mhm.
don't know, like, do you want to throw her against Rhea Ripley that early?
I mean,
And then Tiffany Stratton, like, I don't think there's money there yet. I think you need somebody different to win the Royal Rumble for the women.
so like I'd like to see Jade win it.
I want Jade.
Yeah,
winning
so
it.
that would be something that I could see, like Jade Cargill winning and getting like her
Like,
shot.
30th,
Mhm.
she comes back as a 30th entrant. Naomi and Bianca are still in it, and she eliminates them both to win it.
Yeah, like something
So-
like that is definitely possible.
You guys might not agree with me, but I low-key kind of want Naomi to win it. Possibly.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Yeah.
she's legit.
Yeah, she's had a couple world title matches and she's done good. You know,
But like you said too, maybe Alexa Bliss comes because I'd be down for that. She could go against Tiffany
Oh.
probably.
Yeah.
guys, we forgot one too. Carmella, she could come back too.
Doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I don't think she wants to. And
Really?
Corey Graves is not exactly in good standing with the company right now. He's been talking some shit because he got pulled.
I thought that was a work.
I don't know if
'Cause
it's
he got-
man.
He's
He
still on
got
NXT.
cleared to wrestle.
He even said last week on NXT that he's like, "We're good. I'm good. I'm happy to be here." Da 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 da.
I think they were setting up
maybe.
a feud between him and freaking McAfee.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah,
Potentially.
but I mean, dude, think about it though. I wouldn't say it's a demotion. I think I still count NXT as basically another top main roster type thing.
I don't
Really.
like Corey anyway, so I don't care. But
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it sucks because he was supposed to wrestle and then he injured himself to anymore.
so what,
Who you got- who you got
I'm gonna
winning?
go Alexa Bliss. How about that? I'll just pick. I'll say Alexa Bliss
Okay.
is gonna come back and win.
I say Charlotte Flair.
Man. I gotta think about it. I'm gonna say Becky Lynch.
You think? Again,
Yeah.
but who's she gonna go against?
I think that she's gonna go against Tiffany Stratton.
Put
I
her
was
over.
Say that.
No, I think she's gonna beat Stratton, and I think she's gonna revert to her heel character.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
The man
Big time Bex. Big time
big
Bex.
time Bex. Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
now we move on to the men's Royal Rumble. All right, first of all, let's get through the surprises, and then we'll get to who we think is going to win. Who do you think is going to be surprise entrance?
It's a hard one this year. Like it could be Randy. That could be Randy coming back if he doesn't. See, that'd be interesting. Is Randy coming back and having a chance to win if he's already went and helped Cody win the title back, something whatnot. I'm having a hard time thinking of like who's going to come back, and I wonder if Finn Balor comes back as the Demon in the Royal Rumble because he left hurt. I don't know if I'm just like picking random things, but
Yeah. Well, what about like surprise entrances? Do you see any surprise
Surprise.
entrances coming in?
that's what I'm trying to think. Like who would be a surprise?
Because sometimes we'll get some random ass ones too. We'll get like,
That's true.
a couple
this
years ago we got, or was it last year we got Booker T?
Can we get Kane maybe?
Yeah.
This is kind of up there and maybe kind of wild. maybe Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I can see something like that.
Get some woo woo woo.
Yeah,
He
maybe
hated
another appearance by Joe Hendry.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah, Joe
I'm all
Hendry.
for it, dude. We get Joe Hendry in there. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler comes back.
I mean, but would they call him Nick Nemeth?
That's the
Nick
question.
Nemeth.
I mean, that's his name, dude. Like he's
Yeah,
wrestling
I
with his
know.
brother over there.
Oh, real quick. I'm going to go back to the women's just real quick. I
Yeah,
forgot to mention possibility Nikki Bella comes back.
yeah. I was hearing that too.
Yeah.
That'll
But
be
yeah.
yeah, that's true. Okay, that's at least a surprise one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a surprise. I don't
Right.
think she's any real shot. I think you're talking about all the usual suspects in terms of like
Yeah.
who's
exactly.
over enough to win a Royal Rumble right now.
Right.
I don't think that they would do, Charlotte Flair. I'm not 100%. I'm hopeful for that because it gets pretty crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the question. Either I would say
I can't
they
think of
do
any more
Dolph
surprises.
Ziggler, but I don't know.
Maybe
I
the
could
Hardys.
I could imagine
Yeah.
Moose coming in.
Who?
Moose.
Hmm.
He looks-
I think we'll get one or two. I don't think we'll get any more than that, just because WWE's roster is so big.
yeah.
It's a partnership, not an
this
invasion.
my
Let's
favorite
be
team.
real. I think like Hendry is going to be like one of the only ones.
Mhm.
Just because his music is insanely good.
I know it's ridiculous.
It's so fucking catchy.
Ridiculous. I love the whole like televangelist Tony Robbins aspect to his whole character.
Oh, I do it. It's hilarious.
It's like watching a telenovela.
It's hilarious.
I'd say, I know they say that he can't wrestle, but I'm just gonna throw it out there anyways. Big E.
Big E comes
Right.
back.
Yeah,
Um,
but I doubt it.
any chance that AJ's back in time?
I think so.
Really?
I think AJ's going to be back.
AJ would be sweet. I'd like AJ to come
Yeah.
to show up. That'd be awesome.
Didn't they say that injury was pretty severe? Or no?
I mean, it's a Liz Frank injury, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to have AJ come back though. Honestly,
yeah.
just
I mean,
on-screen fan.
there's a lot of people that he could work with that would be really good.
Heck yeah. I'm like
Who-
CM Punk. I would love that, man. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
sick.
All right. So let's
What
go
about
with who we think what we would love to see as like just a fan, and then who we think's gonna actually win.
I mean,
Fuck, it's hard to say this year, dude.
yeah.
Because you got Seth Rollins, you got CM Punk, you got John Cena, Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, I think for nostalgia's sake, I think John Cena winning it would be cool. But I think in actuality, well, I'll save my winner. That's who I think would be my, like, just for nostalgia's sake. Like, hey, win
Okay.
that. And,
I'd say just as like a fan, because I think it'd be pretty cool, and I think he should be in the main run for a title. I think comes in midway, which is the Samoan Werewolf, and just absolutely just starts just throwing motherfuckers over the freaking top rope, just left and right, going nuts, and winning. Like, I know it's not the time right now, but dude, everything about him is amazing. His aura, I don't care if he's a heel, a freaking face, he's just an insane, amazing to watch. Just everything about him, awesome. So as a fan, I'm like, let him come in and kick ass, and then challenge for the title. I don't care which one.
okay.
That's just for fun. If I know that's not going to happen, but I think it would be awesome.
Sure. What was the last? Oh man, what was the last? Let's see. What was his best match? You think?
I kind of enjoyed his match the other night against Braun Strowman, to be honest.
His match with Jay though, for for the one that they did at SmackDown that I watched was pretty good. With him doing the moonsaults, and dude, he's insane.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a bad one.
The only thing with that is like I think you have to get away from like the Samoan angle before you can, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to have him leapfrog Solo.
I agree.
Well, I don't think they don't, because I feel like they don't know what to do with Solo anymore. That's why they cut their promo.
I mean, like, dude, shocking opinion here, but Solo's not that good.
No,
I know. I agree.
Yeah, I think Solo's kind of shit.
There we go. There's our surprise. Rikishi's going to come and join.
There you go.
Yeah, but for me, I think I'm gonna say Punk. I think Punk actually finally gets the dub at Royal Rumble.
That's your pick.
That would be that's your pick, not your desire or whatever.
Yeah, that's my
pick. Who do you
want
to see?
Yeah, who do you want to see?
That's a good question. I'd say John Cena too, Matt. Honestly.
Okay.
Imagine Batista. I got to make my pick, which is kind of funny that your guys' want to see pick is Cena because he is my pick. I feel like that's one thing they're going to do is run the nostalgia train with Cena this year, and he is going to win. I'm not even saying that as because I'm hoping it's going to win. I do think he's going to win.
Okay.
All right, so it's up to me now. Man, I want to make a fucked up prediction just because I think it's fun. I'm going to say that the winner of the Royal Rumble, who will go on to challenge Cody Rhodes.
Oh, no, I know you're going to say.
None other than the final boss, The Rock.
Oh, that's what you're going to say. I was thinking you're going to be like McIntyre.
No, I think it's going to be The Rock.
That'd be pretty nuts, dude, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I want to see him come as the 31st entrance because he's the final boss. He's like, comes in. They're 31 this year. He comes in and freaking wins it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, I could also see him coming out and costing Cody the championship as well.
Yeah, me too.
The only reason I don't think that CM Punk is going to win, which, like, normally I would be like, it's probably CM Punk's turn because they need him to main event WrestleMania, is because Paul Heyman still owes him a favor.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And so wherever that favor comes in, it's going to be, something a little unexpected. So
who's the favor? Brock Lesnar or something?
No, I think it's going to be like, hey, you need to get me a title match or whatever. It could be like, WrestleMania, right? Rock beats Cody Rhodes or whatever for the title. And then the favor is, no, you get me a match with The Rock immediately. And then it would be full circle from when The Rock beat him for the world championship way back in 2013 or whatever it was.
Oh, okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens because The Rock said he wants to let Cena have his moment. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
So real quick too, another surprise guess I'm gonna say, or not guess, but surprise one that I think too is gonna come back. Omos, he's coming back.
Oh God.
I don't think so, but yeah,
sucks, dude.
He is.
I know he does.
Back, but,
is he even still with the company?
Yeah, he is.
Why?
I don't know.
God, he's like the fucking 21st century Giant Gonzalez, dude.
Yep.
Dude, did you guys even know MVP left when he did? I didn't hear anything about him leaving.
Who? MVP?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, he's whatever.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't, because remember he was the manager for Omos for like the longest time, but then after he got hurt or just took time off or whatever, I didn't even hear anything about him getting released or quitting or whatever.
Huh.
So
I thought that was weird.
One thing I was going to ask is, so Sheamus going to win the IC title at WrestleMania?
He needs to win something.
That one's hard to say too. You know,
He's trying to go for Grand Slam.
It's time.
yeah, I could see that because he's like a Triple H guy too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Sheamus. He's
Yeah.
Dude, he's
he reminds
amazing.
me of Finley in a way.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We will see.
I'm excited.
Just real quick though, one more question for you guys. Who do you guys think the number one entrant's gonna be?
Jay again.
Number one. Number
No,
one.
It's gonna be Rollins or Punk.
I'm gonna say, man, who would be the most fun? I'm gonna say Logan Paul.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I think that it would get like a big reaction right up front, and then you do somebody like LA Knight, and you have those two just like go at it.
So you don't think they have like Rollins or Punk 1 and 2? If one of them lasts till the very end.
No, I think that's kind of what they did last year, but like they can't do it every year, you know.
Because I could see it McIntyre too.
Yeah.
Like being number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
Interesting.
Well, either way, it's going to lead into WrestleMania season. Let's do a little bet over under how many people point at the WrestleMania sign. I'm gonna say 9.
All 4 of them.
No, I'm gonna say 9 people, 9 different people. I'm talking during the match, after the match, whatever else. I think 9 people will point at that fucking sign.
I'm gonna say 10.
I'll say 5.
Cool. Well, all right, fellas. I think that's gonna just about do it for us. It was a good show. We'll come back with a recap, man. It's gonna be exciting, and for everybody that catches us later on, like we're gonna be at WrestleMania, so it's gonna be pretty sick. We're looking forward to it, and this is the season. This kicks it off. Royal Rumble, February 1st, this Saturday. Be there, be square. We will see you next time. For Brandon, for Christian, for myself. Until next time, guys. It's 1, 2, 3, and we're out of here.
Peace
out.
Do we have a thing? I don't even